What's your idea?
I have two ideas.
Okay.
Corn dogs and funnel cake, or either or.
Corn dogs and funnel cake. Okay. It's an admirable idea. I don't have a funnel cake maker.
I don't either, but like that would be so cool. Like everybody loves funnel cake.
Well, you don't exactly need a funnel cake maker because I used to work at the ballpark. As long as you have the batter actually floats on top of oil. So if there's any way we can find ways to boil oil, just pour on top of oil, it'll float there, we'll flip it, and you can make it that way.
Okay.
It's a lot greasier, but I mean, yeah,
So-
it is.
Fairly doable solution, the funnel cakes. Who's next? Yes.
What about cotton candy?
We could do cotton candy. CSI does have a cotton candy maker. So I don't know
That'd be cool.
what we can do with the cotton candy. I'm not that familiar with it. All right, cotton candy. Yes.
Steaks on the grill.
Steaks on the grill, like steaks?
Yeah.
That sounds expensive.
Steaks.
I mean, you can get, for the
Or
steaks on
chicken.
the grill, they sell
Grilled
steaks
food.
at Dollar Tree. Probably by bowl.
I'm being absolutely.
All right. So steaks or some sort of,
It's really good.
guys,
Get a grill.
some sort of grilled meat. Okay. But whole meat, not shredded meat.
What's wrong with that?
Chris.
Shredded meat.
Shredded meat. Okay. Shredded meat in a bowl, or just shredded meat in your hand. Tacos. I like tacos. Big tacos. Anyway, moving right along. Tony.
I got two ideas. First,
Okay.
dates with me. Like, you pay me $5, I'll go on a date with you.
I like it.
Second, we make quesadillas.
I like quesadillas.
All right.
And you can, like, I'll serve them, I'm sure.
And combining ideas, Tony.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
So only write down quesadillas. Sorry, Tony.
I've gone too far.
It's already
Dates
been
with
done.
Tony.
All right. In the back.
I used to work at the sports bar and they made deep fried Oreos.
Sorry.
And before you judge me, you need to try them first because they're stupid delicious.
I had them at the Maryland State Fair. Selling all over the place there. They are good.
Yeah,
Or
so
diabetic.
why not? Well,
That is
maybe.
Change my mind,
okay?
All right. Deep fried Oreos, and just to quell any similar suggestions, deep fried candy bars as well. I think falls under that same category.
Yeah.
Or I say candy bars. Twinkies are candy. Okay.
No, they're not. They're dessert.
They work really well with mega stuffed Oreos.
Okay.
Deep fried cake.
Give everybody diabetes.
Turkey legs.
Turkey legs.
And you.
I don't know how we would do turkey legs, but I like the.
This is the Renaissance fair. We can do anything.
Yeah.
They smoke them. But turkey legs. Okay. Ron Swanson would be proud. Okay. Albert. Rock candy.
We're gonna get shut down.
Rock candy. Any other suggestions before I come back this way? I'll get to you, John. Put your hand down. Yes.
Are we only supposed to sell like one food in particular, or maybe we need to sell a certain variety of foods? That way we could have maybe a small little miniature restaurant selection, so that way it can appeal to multiple different people.
Okay. We have two options in that regard. One, we could just do multiple foods, although we are limited by budget. We don't want to spend too much on this because I don't want to spend too much on this. The second option is that we can work with another club. Like last spring, we shared a tent with the UB debaters. They sold French fries, we sold cheesesteaks, and we had like a little bundle thing that you can get two of them together.
Did they have something to go with the fries? by any chance?
No, they just had fries.
They had our cheese.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, they had chili. They had chili that you could put on the fries. And chili. Sorry, Greg. That chili. Greg made the chili. Everybody. All right. So yes.
Well, since we were bringing up fries in the ballpark, we had chili cheese fries with ranch on top.
That's awesome. that. Yes.
I want to combine some previous ideas, say deep fry your own stuff station.
Okay.
That sounds like.
I don't like the liability, but I like the interactivity.
Like
Just make sure you have a liability
candy, whatever.
contract where they can sue us.
Before you sign, before you,
Of course, we'll do the
fry your Twinkies,
Come
please
on
sign
down.
this piece of paper.
All right.
We're not
Since
responsible.
we're talking about
when you burn
chili,
yourself.
I think we should get like chili cheese dog, dipped in obey sauce. It gives hope.
Chili cheese dogs, maybe or maybe not dipped in Old Bay sauce. Just Old Bay seasoning or some sort of Old Bay sauce?
Season.
Okay. No. That's as far as I know. All right, John Steve.
We can have cookies with like the shield on.
Okay. Anything else? Yes.
How about game-themed cupcakes?
Game-themed cupcakes. Cool. Cool. Yes.
With, like, there's a game themed cupcake idea, but I know how to make something called pinata cookies. You make a thin layer of cookie for 3 layers, and then in the middle of the cookie you have to cut out, and you put in small pieces of candy, so when you bite into the cookie, all the candy comes out, so maybe game pinata cookies as well.
Cool. Tony.
Like, expand on his idea, game-themed pastries.
Pastries at large. Okay. Cool. Yes. Cheesecake on a stick.
Yeah!
Okay.
Deep fries.
Cheesecake on a stick. Eric.
Yes. Oh my.
Oh God.
That's what 7-Eleven.
I don't like playing into stereotypes, but I like how easy that is. So,
It's
all right. Yes.
Energy drinks.
Energy drinks. All right. Tyler. Human hands. All right. Eugene.
rental entourage.
Rental entourages. All right. Now
I'm just
John
gonna write down
Whitfield.
cannibalism.
John Whitfield, the last suggestion, because now we've gotten human hands and rental entourage.
Tears. There hasn't been so many healthy options, so why would you like to sell? Or, what was my other idea?
Frozen bananas.
Deep fried John.
Paninis. Okay. That's potential.
Banana on a stick.
Oreo station, that was cool.
All right. Thank you
Frozen
everyone
banana.
for that very constructive conversation. And the officers will parse through that and see what the pricing is for each of those. And we'll have a list for you guys to pick from in the coming weeks. We got a little bit of time. It's not October. All right, and the last thing that we're going to do before we get into the actual cool stuff of the night is take a look at this right here. That's a digital designer's guild website.
It's a tab.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. Sure.
Okay, after or now?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one. Sorry. I forgot. I did forget about it.
It's okay.
It wasn't on the agenda.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's what you need.
That's why you. All right. Look at that. Sorry, it's kind of big. That's the projector.
The
Actually.
digital designers guild.
Yeah.
It's like Tyler plays.
Yeah, digital singers guild. That's good. I've been working.
I love that picture.
I'm glad I've been working on this for like a week and not noticed that. That's great. Okay. Oh, you saw it too. All right. So looking past that obnoxious misspelling. So we got our main image slider right here that'll connect to different news stories for the club. We'll have a little description of what we do, some news stuff. Headlines 1, 2, and 3, as you can see right there. Yeah? Also a description of the news article.
Podcast.
You just recorded that.
Yeah, the latest podcast will be hosted on here, and the latest one will be accessible from the homepage. And down here at the very, sorry, this is really obnoxious using this thing. Got our address. We got little buttons. Connect to the Facebook and Twitter and YouTube channel. It's fun.
This looks horrible, Chris. No.
That's good. What did I do to you? So we're gonna move in slow motion and diagonals across the page. So we're gonna take a look here. We got some stuff. We got some about stuff.
Stuff, thanks.
Yeah. This will be the About page. There will be a brief description of what the club's all about, as well as access to the news articles leaked from this page. Yeah, but as you can see, despite being around for a short time, the DMG has made a huge impact. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. You won't find any spelling errors anywhere except for that goddamn title. I cannot believe that happened. Other people have looked at this.
I don't know. I don't see that.
It says the Singers Guild.
It's so close to being right. Is this supposed to be vegan?
No, the G and the N are
Yeah,
backwards,
this-
John.
How did you not see it?
Now
I just have a V8 today.
So, we'll have access to the syllabi for the workshops that we offer, as well as brief descriptions of the one-off and short-term workshops that we'll do later on in the year. The events page will have a little bit of a calendar sort of thing, where you can see the description for each of the events that we're putting on. And it'll also be where we post media from the events, such as photographs and game prototypes that get uploaded to there for game jams and the game contest. I'm going to come back to this one in a minute, if I can. The podcasts will all be accessible from here, as well as from iTunes, because once we have a website, then we'll have crossed the single barrier into iTunes hosting. So that'll be cool, that'll be fun. And then finally, the most valuable part of the website to you guys will be the members section. Unfortunately, this one's going to be the longest one coming. But once we get the database solidified and talking to the website, this will be a searchable sort of resource for employers and indie game developers in the area. So from this page, we'll have a listing of all of the members of the club that have reached at least journeyman rank. For those of you that weren't here last week, that's 100 hours of doing stuff with the club. And it'll have your resume, if you're a journeyman, and your portfolio accessible from there if you are a grandmaster. So it'll have a listing, it'll be searchable by name, by skill set, and by rank, I guess, and location. So this is where all of your publicly accessible sort of credentials are going to be held. It's on this website. Yeah. So are there any questions? Does the design look okay except for the title? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Fortunately, this is not coming along for a little while.
All right, yeah.
You'll have some time. But yeah, we will need a resume from you. We will not write your resume for you. So, part two question? Okay. Yeah, we can provide that if you guys need it. We can definitely do a resume workshop. We did one a couple years ago, but I'd be happy to post another one because that's a good skill to have. It's a resume. Yes, sir. Do not need to submit headshots. In fact, I would encourage not submitting headshots. Unless you're trying to be a model or a porn star, you don't submit a headshot with your resume.
So there won't be a picture?
There will not be a picture on there will be pictures of people on the website, but not from the members section of the website. There won't be images. No. Yes.
Okay.
What's up, Scott?
I'm graduating before that's going to happen.
It's okay.
I'm still going to be on.
Yeah, alumni will also be.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll also be. Valued alumni.
Just valued ones. though,
Just,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
well, duh. Come on.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Gotcha.
Yes, Tyler. You really doing this? Okay. Are there any other questions about the website? Then we can get on the cool stuff. So yeah, look forward to seeing more of this. The URL will be thedvg.org. Yeah. You know, the one. DVG.org. We tried to get DVG.org, but believe it or not, somebody bought up a three-letter conversation. Like any three-letter combination is pretty much out of the books. You know, if it's not hosted by a company, somebody's sitting on it to sell it, and ours is being hosted by a company. So, thedvg.org will be the eventual home of our website. If you're interested in working on the website, by all means, talk to me, because I don't want to do it all by myself. I'm not very good at it. Look at that. Look at that crowd. The singers guild? Are you serious? So, yeah, if you're interested in working on this, come talk to me after the meeting. So before we get underway, John is going to talk to you guys really quick about the podcast. Go ahead.
So, but I'll try. So today we did film the first ever DDG video show. I don't want to call it a podcast because it's not really like a podcast. But for the actual audio podcast, we were hoping of starting that up in the coming week. So if you email me about the video podcast and either I got back to you saying something about the times and stuff like that, and I didn't actually give you any other information regarding it, I guess I'll just send out another email, or if you want to come up to me afterwards and like talk to me about being on the audio podcast, because we want to have our members, be engaged and just speaking stuff up. So just because the spots on the video podcast, we can, be a part of the audio podcast, which is a lot of fun. So do that. That'll be nice, cool, and
So where do we email?
So yeah, do that. No, you should just send it to me. So I'm on stage. What is that sound? That's
Sound of
Is that the
podcast
veterans from last year? I thought somebody was moving something above us. I thought it was a fan.
I will not let the DDG have that meeting.
Exactly. All right, Chris. Was that clear to everybody?
Is anyone interested?
Audio podcast. So yeah, email the DDG email, and I'll look at it, and I'll let you know what's going on there.
And just so you guys know that like a lot of them have, or both of them have rotating guest spots. So if you don't get a chance to be on it 1 week, most likely you'll be on it in a year.
And also, let us know if you have like any particular special side projects, because we're trying to feature our members on the video show. If you have anything really good going on.
This week we're featuring John because he hosts his own YouTube channel.
Not to brag or anything, but
Yeah.
kind of.
I'm sure you've seen his Facebook posts. Like, go check it out.
Yeah.
Who wrote your theme song?
I think you did.
Yeah, you did.
Nice point. Didn't break my do that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. We're going to get started now with the first of our year-long skill development workshops. For those of you that were interested in the concept art workshop, I'm sorry to say that due to some unforeseen personal circumstances, Leah Jennings will not be able to teach that workshop. I feel really bad about it, really sorry, because I know some of you guys are really looking forward to that. But we do have the Python and the game narratives workshops offered throughout the year, and we might be doing something new halfway through the year. We'll give you some more information about that when it comes up. So Abby's going to take a minute to get ready over there, and by a minute I mean like 30. 30 minutes, yeah. And I'm going to do my thing first. So sorry to go back up there again, because I know you guys love seeing me. But I'll be back in just a minute.
So, are you guys gonna play with your No. That was good.
Something good.
Yes.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I'm sorry, G, you can't see past this one map. That monkey excuse of a kid.
Dude, that game is so good. At night, can run into each other.
being a high-level programming language, kind of similar in capabilities to C or Java. It's just not as popular. But it's a great learning tool for people that are brand new to programming, and it's a good language for experienced programmers to learn because, one, in all likelihood you don't know it, I'm guessing. And two, because it is quite useful, not really in gaming, but it's quite useful and used often in other computer development industries. It's used a lot in web development, and it's used a lot in less gaming software applications. So that's why we're talking about Python. It's a good learning tool. I know it, and because it's useful. Okay. Is that all right by you, John Steve?
Yeah, especially that second one.
Yes. All right. So one of the things we're going to be talking about over the course of the year, in addition to how to use the Python programming language, is what is programming? Does anyone have any suggestions for a definition of programming? Yes.
Setting the rules to something?
Setting the rules to something? Yes.
Programming is a different language in which the computer speaks in, as well as you also set methods and way that the computer will communicate with the user.
Okay. A language that the computer speaks and makes things happen on the computer. Very good.
Too long.
Yes.
Series of complex instructions?
Series of complex expressions. John
Instructions.
Steve? I'm sorry.
Instructions.
Instructions.
There we
Excuse
go.
me.
I was just going to say it's instructions.
Okay. You have another one?
Confusion in the brain.
What?
Confusion in your brain.
Confusion
Yeah.
In your brain.
in your brain. Okay. That's good. That's a nice positive description, Chris.
Having a machine change the way it works.
Having a machine change the way it works. So, at the core of programming is an artistry. There's an intimate connection between the programmer and the computer that's interpreting the program. Okay? As Chris said, if you are telling the computer to do something that it's not currently doing, it's very powerful. And there's a lot of control in your hands when you program the computer to do something it doesn't normally do. At the core of programming is one little tiny piece of data. Data is what makes computers do what they do. Data. What is data? Does anybody have any suggestions for a definition of data? No? Oh, okay.
In terms of coding, it is digital information that does stuff.
Digital information. It doesn't do stuff on its own, right? It's just information.
You make it do stuff because it's not doing anything, it's not useful.
Right. Right. Information that has not been processed. That's a good definition of it as well.
That's a really good definition.
Data. What kinds of data do we use in a programming language? What kinds of data do you, like, if you were to think about information, how would you, like, label it? The different kinds of information. John Steve?
I wasn't raising my hand, but
Oh, I thought you What was that?
actions.
Actions.
Yeah.
How do you describe an action? Like,
Just the things you see, I don't know.
okay. Any other suggestions? Just raw information. Yes, Greg?
I would say the color scheme or
Okay. Variables? Not quite. We'll get to variables in a little bit. I like to draw a distinction between variables and data. Any other suggestions for what kinds of data there are in the world? Well, let's take a look. This is the kind of data that the computer is familiar with. And specifically the Python programming language uses on a regular basis. It uses strings. Strings being collections of characters, letters, symbols, numbers when they're not being used in a mathematical sense, characters, even quotation marks. Strings are groups of characters. Integers are whole numbers. You might remember that from math. Integers are whole numbers, and you use them to quantify things. I know this is sounding really basic right now, but I promise it's going somewhere. Floats, floating numbers. That might be a term that you're not familiar with. Floating numbers are numbers that have decimals after them. Some more advanced programming languages have different types of decimals, but for Python, we're going to be working mostly with floating numbers if you're going to be using decimals. And finally, the last major data type that we'll talk about at the beginning of the Python class are booleans. Booleans being true or false, almost a binary. It's difficult to describe because I can't just say true or false, because true or false could be a string, right? True or false is just binary between something that is and something that is not. So, going back to that question, what is programming? The first thing programming is, when you look at it from the perspective of moving data around, is the organization of data. Variables. Variables are ways of labeling data. Anybody that's taken a programming class has probably heard the metaphor, variables are like a box for a piece of data, right? Think about the boxes that you store your crap in, right? Like in your attic, there's probably a box that says like photos, or a box that says, I don't know, Christmas crap, or a box that says China. I don't know. You have crap, right? And you put it in a box and you label it so you don't forget what kind of crap you have. Variables are similar in that way, except the term variable is just the box that the piece of data resides in. So if you took all the photos out of your box that says photos, does that mean you couldn't put anything but photos in that box? Right. Could you? Yeah? It's a box. It's a box. It's just a box. The box doesn't hold. The box doesn't care. You can put anything in the box. Variables are the same way. They're just a box for data. So you could say something like, for example, joke equals, weren't you glad I didn't say banana? It's not that fun. But that joke could be anything. That joke could be 42. That joke could be false. You can change that variable at any time. And it doesn't have to be a string, and it doesn't have to be anything related to what it is when you first set it. So variables are just boxes for holding pieces of data. Again, what is programming? It's the manipulation of data, right? The changing of data. So, when you're programming, there are operators. When you're working with, I hesitate to say numbers because you can also use these in conjunction with strings or attaching strings together. But mathematical operators are a central component of programming. There's the addition sign, the subtraction sign. You guys might know these, I bet. You know, just going to go on a limb here. You guys know how to add, subtract, divide, and multiply. The only one that might seem weird is the modulus down there at the bottom. Does anyone know what the modulus does in programming? Yes, Tony?
Basically, like the first number is divided by the second, and then the remainder is like what's left.
Right. So, yeah, when you use modulo, it returns the remainder of a division operation. So here, if we were to do 50 modulo 7, we would get 1 because 7 goes into 49, you have a remainder of 1.
How would you spell that?
Modulo?
Yeah.
M-O-D-U-L-O. Modulo, I believe it is. Yeah. And it's signified, in case you can't see it, by a percentage sign. So you can use these operators not just on numbers because, I mean, the programming language isn't just like a simple calculator for you to say, what's 122 divided by 2? It can be used with variables and whole numbers and whole numbers, and variables and variables, okay? This is really slow start, but I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page when we start doing this in depth, or the week after. A little note to make is that when you're working with variables, there are some shortcuts that you can take with operators. So for example here, variable equals variable plus 1. You can do that. You can put that in. You can put that in, and that would be valid. But there are some shortcuts that you can do. Anytime that you want to just set a variable to the variable and then an operation and a number, so in this case variable plus 1, you can just say variable plus equals 1, variable minus equals whatever, variable times equals. It works with all the mathematical operators. So if you want to set a variable to the variable operated by a number or another variable, you can just do it this way.